Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Mythgard in Middle-earth. My name is Corey Olsen, the Tolkien professor, joined as always by my friend Gryfflet, who stares off into the hills above Sardol with a resolute look in his eye, prepared to use his newly reforged, newly reinvented legendary weapon in order to bring ruin upon the spiders which reputedly live nearby. So, we are headed off. Don't worry, Hologro, we are not going to discuss allies more. I am an expert. Now, have I named my weapons? No, I have not. But I am prepared to continue with my quests, fully equipped and very excited. So, yeah. So first thing I need to do is to remember what my quests were. So, the epic quest that I'm up to is travel southeast through Tarlang's Neck into Lamadon, which I'm not going to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and... Hi, Gryfflet. Yeah, why don't you do that here? Let's, I'm forgetting. All right, Road to Gondor, right? That's where I am. Let's take that out, because I'm going to finish, of course, my doings in the Blackroot Vale before we head on to Lamadon, of course. All right, so there's that. And then, actually, let me just keep that up here. Because... Where are we? What are we calling this place? I've got so much junk. Yeah, where? What is this area? Wailing Hill? No, not the Wailing. Western Gondor. Okay, so it's under W. I'm like looking for Blackroot Vale, and it's under W, of course. All right, here we go. All right, and the White Stag. Right, let me get the White Stag back in there. Okay, so right, I've got to find the the elusive mountain lion known as Tarlang's Fang. I've got the White Stag. White Stag I'm supposed to capture but not kill. I've got I'm searching for the source of the spider's madness in Lingroth. So we're not worried about the fact that there are giant spiders in Lingroth. That we take as a matter of course. We're trying to figure out something that is causing furor, not fervor, furor, maybe fervor as well, but at least furor among them. And then I'm supposed to be, there's a missing hunter, right? That I'm supposed to be finding, feared to be captured by spiders. And then I'm also searching cocoons for other random Gondorians whom they might not yet have missed, but who might actually be. So there's one hunter who they've noticed is gone, and there are others whom they don't even know, but they want, just like, while I'm there, I should check. Okay, good. I'm remembering that now. Okay, so, and I think we're headed, yeah, we're all up in the hills here, which is in one place, so that's excellent. Okay, Gryfflet is ready, and he's going to wander up into the hills here. All right, I guess I'll just head off this way then. Me and this goat, apparently. All right, that means since I get to wander in the hills and hunt for spiders and check in cocoons for random Gondorians, I am going to get to answer more lore questions today, which is great. So let me try to go through. I got a bunch of lore questions kind of stored up here because I haven't been able to do them for a while. Yeah, so anyway, so I'm going to try to go through as many as I can. So Tomas had asked, I'll read this before I start going here. Tolkien seems to have been mostly inspired by Northern European mythology, Norse, Celtic, and Finnish, when creating his legendarium. But the pair Tom Bombadil and Goldberry seem to have more roots in classical mythology, as Tom can be understood as a genius loci and Goldberry as a river nymph. Am I reading this right, or do you think that there are parallel deities also in Northern mythologies? Great question, Tomas. So, first of all, let me say that, I've talked about Tolkien's connection with different mythologies, especially I've talked relatively recently about his relationship with the Finnish Kalevala, right? The legends collected by Lon Rod. And, okay, seeking the best way up here. Anyway, so the let me tell this like as a story. Once upon a time, when people started reading Tolkien's legend, like when the Silmarillion came out, right, and people first started reading Tolkien's mythology, they immediately thought of Greek mythology. Primarily, they were like, oh, right, I'm tracking. Manwë is like Zeus, and, you know, Olmo is like Poseidon, and okay, right, yeah, I'm totally. And they were like, Aule not much like Hephaestus, but all right, okay, you know, it's kind of like that. That was the sort of like the first reaction that many people had, and okay, yeah, I'm in the right direction now. But then, of course, like as you know, we got to learn more about Tolkien. Like you have to remember, in the bad old days, like before Christopher Tolkien's, you know, career really flourished, you know, so like back in the late 70s, very early 80s, before Christopher Tolkien had really published much at all, we knew comparatively little about, this was even before the letters had been published. And so we knew like comparatively little about, oh, yes. That was awesome. Those traceries were so worth it. I don't even know how violent the spiders are because I'm so proactively violent that it never even had a chance. But I was waiting for my spider slayer deed. And I think this is the hunter I was looking for. He tried to flee. Oh, dear. Okay. Oh, this is an improvement. This is really an improvement. Okay, so anyway, it's as I say, back in those days, there was more was guessed than was known. And so one of the things, so again, let me just emphasize, like, it is perfectly natural. It is totally natural that that people would have, you know, like thought what they did or suggested what they did about, you know, Tolkien's mythology and connecting it with Greco-Roman mythology, like perfectly logical for them to do so. But anyway, as more became known, people were like, actually, yeah, so Tolkien, less about the Greek mythology, more about the Norse mythology, right? And so whereas a lot of people, a lot of early Tolkien readers, you know, were kind of automatically thinking in terms of classical mythology, you know, later on, people were like, okay, no, Norse mythology. Oh, darn it. Are you too close to me? Okay, here we go. So, I was hoping I could just sneak by that dude. But no, he wouldn't allow it. Oh, nice. We see him actually cocooning this. That's kind of fun. Yeah. Oh man, likely about. I am so. I have to admit to being really envious of people who read The Lord of the Rings. Oh, hooray! A webbed woman. That's a fun name. People who basically got to read the Lord of the Rings before the Silmarillion came out, and like who were part of that like reading the Silmarillion when it first came out. I mean, like, I, still have my own experience of reading the Silmarillion for the first time, so it's not like I have no connection with that at all. But still, it's not the same. Anyway, people began to oh, darn it. Okay, fine. So, anyhow. Oh, you too. Sorry. I was neglecting you, little one. Here you go. Okay. Anyway. A funny thing happened, though, in Tolkien studies along the way here. And the thing that happened was that there began to be this, I don't know, like taboo, essentially, about, like once people had, caught on to the fact that Tolkien was so fascinated with Norse mythology, there became this thing where everyone was like, okay, so it's like you'd seen the answers in the back of the book or something, right? Like, all right, so when you're thinking about mythology, like only noobs think about Greek mythology, right, in connection with Tolkien. Like, that's ridiculous. All the insiders know that, like, Tolkien is into, like, Norse and Finnish, so forget right about classical mythology. And in fact, I'd even, like, heard people look down on people, like, sort of scorn people who were trying to make connections between anything in Tolkien and, between anything in... Oh, I went back the way I came. Between anything in Tolkien and Greek mythology, because they were like, well, that's just like, isn't that ignorant of you, right? That you didn't even know that, oh, queer chill, huh? Oops. But here's the thing. That is way too far in the other direction. Because... yeah, there we go. It is way too far in the other direction. Because, in fact, Tolkien knew Greek mythology really, really well. Not only did Tolkien read classics for a year, like when he went to Oxford as a classicist. Like, he went and read classics for a year at Oxford. Now, he didn't love it. He didn't love reading the classics, and like that's when he like almost flunked out. But just because like he was like not into it, and he was studying like learning Finnish in his spare time instead. But he knew the classics really, really well. Not only that, like this guy in high school, you're talking about a person who in high school knew Greek, had studied so much Greek literature that he could orate in Greek extemporaneously. Like, he participated and won competitions at his school where he made spontaneous speeches in Greek. And again, won prizes for this. He was the best in this at his whole school. He read a lot of Greek. He knew Greek stuff really well, and he did not hate Greek literature. He did not hate the classics at all. So yes, it's true. His first love was Norse mythology and Finnish myth, and his first love wasn't, but like he came to love Finnish mythology. But he loved classical mythology. There's nothing wrong at all with seeing parallels to that. So don't feel any inhibition. Do not feel like there's a rule that says like if it's Tolkien, it's got to be Norse, right? It's just not the case. And in fact, I would go a little bit further than that and say, I actually see comparatively little of the spirit of Norse mythology itself. Legend, yes. Like the whole northernness, as C.S. Lewis called it, right? Like the northern heroic tradition was very influential on Tolkien. But his mythology itself does not feel very Norse to me. As far as like that kind of spirit, like that's, the things that make the Norse mythology so weird. There's some of it, but there's not all that much of it. And I say weird in an affectionate way. So Tomas, totally feel free to see a classical parallel in Tom Bombadil and Goldberry. I think that's totally legit. The one thing I would add, though, is that Tom Bombadil is also kind of Finnish, right? Like he could also fit pretty well into the Kalevala, running around singing and the kind of effect that his song seems to have is very Finnish. But anyway, I like it. Okay. Now, this is indeed a skull-adorned cellar door here. Except it's not a door. It's just a shrine, I guess? A grim altar reminiscent of the paths of the dead. Yeah, it does bear a certain resemblance to the paths of the dead and really raises the question, who on earth made these? Which I've still not really been able to answer. Who made these? Who put up the stone bones and the non-stone bones? Sorry. Excuse me. Pardon me. The stone bones with runes on, and the bones without. The oratorically posed skeletons who look like they died mid-dramatic flourish in a particularly grandiose public speech. The piles of skulls and also hands, which is even creepier, to be honest. I still can't understand the chronological sequence. That's my problem. I still don't understand, because again, it looks like that skull in the center, the big sort of looming skull shape there in the center. That looks to me very much like from the era of the Pukelmen, right? That suggesting that the carven work that we're seeing here on the black door and here at this shrine are the work of that old culture, whatever it was, the old residents of Harrowdale in the ancient times, right? But I don't understand the chronology, because that ancient culture who lived in Harrowdale and who might have come through to this side as well, why wouldn't they? Because there weren't any dead people in the mountain, but that's the problem. Why were they doing skulls and bones? Were they anticipating? Were they prophets? Like someday this mountain will be filled with creepy dead people, so let's put up really creepy monuments about dead things in preparation for their arrival? That's the part that I really just don't understand. As I said, if it weren't for that, then it would make all kinds of sense, but it doesn't. All right, it's just a scholar thing. Okay, so we've got some preserved bones here. Preserved bones, are you causing furor among spiders? Is that what's happening here? A ghastly oathbreaker rises forth to attack. Oh, let's see. Sorry. Who dares disturb the dead? Flee while you can, for a powerful new ally has rallied to our side, and when the darkness consumes all, we shall be free from this curse at last. What powerful new ally has rallied to your side? I don't believe it. I don't believe you at all. You've got one powerful new ally, and he's headed south, my friend, and you seem not to be. And ergo, I conclude, that you okay. So what powerful ally do they have? Sauron? Not exactly a new ally, is he? Right. I mean, I remember that the Ruthless Dead went to join Sauron and such. But, that's the... Wait. Defeat Gurnathron? When did I meet Gurnathron? I don't know, I got 3 more cocoons, too. I gotta head down this way. Excuse me, folks. Sorry, little spiders. Okay, I got some cocoons there. Oh, there's Gurnathron and all of his friends and relations. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Oh, why not? Yeah. Yeah, a few more of you. How about? Sure. Oh, Gurnathron is having an issue, is he? He's very confused with question marks? Good, so Gurnathron, if you don't mind, just hang out there for a second. I'm just gonna... Oh, hang on, I've got this other guy. Gurnathron, I don't mean to be rude, I really don't. But I'm being attacked by this other guy, so I'm just gonna fight him while I'm standing here, and you apparently can't reach me. But don't worry, I'm not gonna try to exploit this or anything. I'm just gonna be patient. And I hope that you, too, can be patient, Gurnathron. I know, Drowsnake. I don't know why Sam didn't try that one with Shelob, right? Whatever I just did to... Man, he is ugly. Hi, Gurnathron. I'm going to stab you in the back now, if you don't mind. Because that works well. Holy cow! Holy cow! I almost one-shotted that guy. Did you see that? I just did like 80% damage on that dude. Oh, wow. That was awesome. I have defeated many spiders. Yeah. Oh, so I culminated my Slayer deed with the, or my Slayer quest with the boss. I've almost never contrived to do that. Okay, up and at 'em, webbed folks. There he goes. And is there another one over here? Yeah, my backstab was super effective. Okay. I think, yeah, my inventory is getting full of junk. Oh, darn it. Gurnathron, look, I'm happy to kill you multiple times. Arguably, I should have left the boss's lair before I, you know, checked out my inventory. Understood. Okay, broodlings, can we take this out in the hall? Thank you. Okay. Man. Boy, the regen rate in here is a little infuriating. Come on now. I just want to get my last cocoon, and then I think I'm outie, right? Yeah. There we go, webbed woman. And that is the last of my spider quests. Hooray! Okay, let me queue up another, because I gotta head back to town. Let me get another one. All right, JJ, it's a very relevant question. If any Oathbreakers did reject the call, what would happen to them? They were forced to stick around so long in order to fulfill their oath, so would they be struck down, simply allowed to die, forced to keep respawning as long as the world endures? I don't know, honestly. So, I mean, like, I totally understand why in the game they have... Hello, spiders. Done fighting you, though. I'm gonna go down this way, if you don't mind. Wee-hee! Oh, okay. I thought I was gonna slide down that hill, too, but apparently not. Okay. I guess it would be a little bit rude to kite a whole bunch of spiders straight into town, wouldn't it? I'd probably cause some alarm where I was meant to allay it. But anyway, none of the Oathbreakers did, in fact, do it. As I said, I do understand why they did that for the game. It's fun. I think it's a neat idea, giving them that kind of choice and having some which refused the call. But I don't know. I'm really torn. I'm trying, and let me talk to the people, and then I'll talk about what I'm torn about.
These are troublesome times indeed.
The dead have never left the hill before. This does not bode well for the Vale, nor does it bode well for Gondor. If the dead have somehow managed to pledge themselves to this powerful ally, their aggression is likely being guided. They must know that such an agreement is folly, though. The curse can only be broken by one. I must think on what is to be done, but Malthellam must be told of this and soon. Okay. Oh, right. I get trousers. Yes. Hang on. We are going to cosmetically equip. All right, let's see. I'm not even going to be able to see the trousers because they're going to be underneath my top, but where are the trousers at? Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, that looks great. It's okay. I've got trousers of the White Mountains, and I've got boots of the White Mountains, and I've got gloves of the White Mountains. I just need my coat of the White Mountains. And ideally a nice Gondorian, cloak here. I've got my shoulders, my nice white tree shoulders. That's not of the White Mountains. Oh, and a hat. But I'm not even, I'm wearing a hooded cloak anyway. So, all right, so the trousers were a little bit anticlimactic, but that's okay. Melian, no relation. Okay, and who else? Oh, there we go. Garthwin here. Do you have a new quest? Not yet. All right, hang on. Let me turn in my quest to this guy. Over here. Hello, Sitharan.
Our lands were once peaceful.
I saw them all return to the...
It is now dangerous to travel far from home.
Well, yes. With giant spiders, your neighbors, I guess. They are shaken, but in time they shall recover. I am just thankful you were able to free them before the spiders could harm them any further. Hey, glad the webbed folks made it back. Great. Excellent. Okay, so now I think it's just over here to Garthwin, to in her fun floppy hat, in order to get my next
Our
quest.
lands were once peaceful, but it is now dangerous to travel far from home.
I know you have been told of our missing hunters, but have you heard of what plagues the Blackroot? What, dead folks? I believe it to be related to what you spoke of in Alagrant, but I cannot be sure. You see, goats and deer have been washing up in the river. Ugh. And I fear that soon they will pollute the water. I know, right? For those of us who live downriver, that's gross. I beg of you, please clear their remains from the river. Oh man, are you kidding me? So that our water may remain safe to drink? Okay, I've been sent on some, menial errands in my time. But this is the least attractive errand I have been sent upon. Ooh, nice little Gondorian ruin down there. We'll get there. What'd you catch, huh? Goat, huh? Fishing for goats? Picking up? I was picking up the dead goat? I don't know. I would think that any day you catch a goat in your fishing nets. I mean, is that not a good day?
Gondor needs your aid.
I know you are duly familiar with the strange goings-on in the Vale, Gryfflet. However, something troubling has been happening around Sardol. Well, catching goats in your fishing nets is unusual, admittedly. I do not know if the others have noticed as I have, but some of our goods have disappeared. Perhaps they missed it in the wake of our troubles with the spiders, but these were taken, not destroyed. You see, I found one of our barrels washed up on the shore of the Blackroot this morning. I believe someone seeks to send them south to Tarlang's crown, but I do not know why. Okay. Stolen barrels washing up in the river? Wait.
These are troublesome times
Did I not
indeed.
oh, wait. If someone has been stealing away our goods, they must have come from the south. I have heard news of corsairs landing near Dol Amroth, but none of us has seen any in the Vale. If they have truly come this far north, we shall have more to worry about than orcs and the dead. They must have traveled the river's edge to send the barrels downstream, so if you find any sign of their passing, it may aid us in routing them out. Corsairs coming up the river? On foot? Curiouser and curiouser. What am I meant to do with the fishing nets? I don't have a quest involving fishing nets. Am I checking them for barrels? I tried picking them up, but apparently that didn't work. Oh, wait, hang on. While aiding the people of Sardol, you have come across fishing nets. Because Malthellam has urged the people to remain in their villages and their hunters have largely gone missing, it is likely that their food supply will begin to dwindle the longer the conflict continues. You should gather fish to add to their supply in Sardol. Okay. Great. Hey, you know what else you could eat? Goats. And maybe deer. I know they might be in an advanced state of decomposition, in which case, why am I picking them up? Do I have these fetid corpses in my inventory? Nasty. Okay. Oh, JJ, yeah. I was answering your question, or talking about my wild guesses. Okay. So I don't know what would happen to an Oathbreaker who, in fact, refused to go with Aragorn and fulfill his oath. Logic would suggest that an Oathbreaker that does not fulfill his oath remains. Right? I mean, if they are cursed to remain until they fulfill their oaths, well, then they'll remain still, because they haven't fulfilled their oath. So, I mean, logically speaking, that would seem to be what is indicated there. At the same time, it seems a little hard on the people of the Blackroot Vale that they should have the it seems a little hard on the people of the Blackroot Vale that they should have like ghosts haunting them for all time just because the ghost will, like, you know what I mean? So like, you'd think, like, wouldn't Aragorn be able to do something about this? But it's I think one of the reasons that we don't see this happening in Tolkien. Hang on. I've recovered as many fish, right? I've done well. Oh, good. Thank you. I appreciate your affirmation there. I've only cleared 3 corpses. Dude, I totally did 4. I did 4. I'm getting robbed of an animal corpse. There were 2 up there, and there's the one on there, and then there's the one down here by the rock. That makes 4. Oh, no, maybe that was a fishing net, actually. Okay, fine. I'll keep, where... Oh, yeah. No, okay, the barrels and stuff are down here. Okay, I'll keep looking. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, I think that this is... It does... as I said, it makes sense to me, certainly from a gameplay standpoint, that they would want to give the Oathbreakers a choice, right? It's a wonderful way to enable us still to fight Oathbreakers down here, when otherwise we wouldn't be able to. The mysterious boot print folks went to visit the maddened bears, huh? How'd that work out for them? Okay. Yeah, JJ, exactly. Well, here's the thing. Notice how Aragorn's... Is that bear standing on its head? That bear is standing on its head. It is mad! Okay. I have no further questions. The bears have gone so crazy that they are doing yoga, apparently. Is it along here? There it is. My stealth speed is excellent as well. Uh-oh. A dark water? Oh, that is not good. That is not good at all. Oh dear. Maybe stop fishing. If the... Okay. I think the barrels were all down this way, aren't they? Yeah. The barrels are all down this way. Okay. What Aragorn accomplishes, right? Tolkien contrives that the coming of Aragorn accomplishes multiple, accomplishes multiple things at once, right? On the one hand, he accomplishes the fulfillment of their... So it's this heroic thing. He is, the heir of Isildur returned, and so he enables them to fulfill their oath, and thereby accomplishes this great thing, overcoming overcoming the invaders and such, right? But in addition, he also cleanses the Blackroot Vale, right? He removes the terror of he removes the terror of the dead from this place. And that's kind of an understated thing, especially since at the time it's super terrifying, and because he's brought them out. And so don't highlight me, highlight that. Yeah, since he's brought them out and they're all like, the king of the dead has come upon us, right? So it's temporarily terrifying, but they come carry on. But he cleanses the region, and again, that wouldn't be possible. Like, if they were doomed to remain, which I cannot see how they wouldn't be doomed to remain. The other thing, though, that they really can't do, they can choose, in theory, I can get behind the idea that they can choose Sauron. That they can be like, yeah, no, we're not going to follow any mortal king. I don't care if you're the heir of Isildur. We're going to, remain true to our second loyalty to Sauron. In which case, they would remain. They would not be freed from their, from their curse. But they wouldn't be allowed to leave and go serve Sauron. I just don't think that it's... again, it's fun for gameplay purposes because it gives us something to do here, or more to do here. And it's fun doing, Oathbreaker related quests here in the Blackroot Vale. But it doesn't make sense that the outcome of Aragorn's, return here, as prophesied of old and such, would be to unleash the, well, then what? They have to, would Aragorn, King Elessar, right, after the war, have to, return for on a ghost busting expedition to pick up the strays? It's just, that's a little harder to envision. But that seems to me like what would be necessary if some of them were to not be able to choose. Anyway, so... Okay, I am now laden down with rotting corpses. So there's that. I think I run just as fast in stealth now. That is the best thing ever. As I said last week, stealth speed was my favorite of all the legacies on... it was the one thing I absolutely insisted on any new LI I got, was stealth speed. And my new stealth speed is fantastic.
Gondor needs your aid.
To what end or who knows? Who stole them and sent them down the river? A really good question.
How may I help you, friend?
Yeah, the waters themselves rose against me. You might want to look out for that. That is not the work of any corsair I've ever heard of. No. You mentioned that the tracks continued into the Vale, so perhaps the invader still lurks our lands. I only hope this corruption he has surrounded himself with spares the rest of the Vale. What was that? Oh, right. Rep. If I'm a friend to Dol Amroth now? Okay. What, as the, like, center of Western Gondor, I guess? Hang on. Right. Okay. So Dol Amroth is, it's all Dol Amroth. Okay. That's fair. Right, because of course the dark waters there are corrupted water spirits. So there are spirits that live, you know, in the Blackroot waters, in the river. But they're friendly normally. I mean, like, they're benign. It's you don't even notice them usually. When they're corrupted, and we saw this, of course, way back in Garthagarwin, back in the day, when they're corrupted, they become malevolent. So I think that Gordir is spot on, that somebody who has a corruptive influence is here. Who could that be?
How may I help you, friend?
Where could a wielder of such fell power come from? A good question. And what vile plan does he have for the Vale? As you know, Gryfflet, Sardol's hunters have gone missing, but I think you and I both know that spiders alone could not have been the cause for so many losses. I don't know, there were a lot of hunters up there. 2 of our hunters went south to Belfalos through Tarlang's Crown, and we have not seen them in days. If this invader has come from Tarlang's Crown, I fear for what may have befallen them. Search for them. We could do with some good news for once. And you'll give me a fortified jacket of the White Mountains? It's a deal. Okay. No. Alright, I gotta go down towards the crown, huh? Okay, let me go turn in the other quest here first. Okay. All right, Garthwin. I have your corpses.
Have you heard the rumors of enemies pressing in from all sides?
They must have wandered to the river's edge with their dying breaths, or were caught unaware while drinking. I can think of nothing else but those vicious bears! But I am thankful that our river is once again clear of their remains. Okay. Alright, where was the white stag again? Up over there. I'll head over there when I'll do that one. Where's the... I keep losing the mountain lion quest. Yeah. Tarlang's Fang. Where was he again? Oh, nobody knows where he is. He's a mystery. Okay. Enjoy well-lit Gondor while it lasts. You're right. I should be savoring the daylight. Okay. I'll head down Tarlang's Crown. And I'll search for missing hunters. Hello, missing hunters. Can't wait to see that ruin. It is really interesting looking. Fortress, but that like dome thing in the middle? What was that about? Hang on, what oh, it's just bears. I want to see what the mobs were. Okay, we're starting to descend here. We entered Tarlang's Crown. We're trotting through Tarlang's Crown. Oop, hang on. What's going on here? Got some men of Gondor. Hey, fellas. It is a place of danger? What? Okay. We're just hanging? Is this like a book club meeting, or... I found some hunters. Are you guys missing? Do your parents know where you are? Seriously, what's happening here? Is this like a prayer circle, or... No idea. Really, no clue. Uh-oh. This one looks less cheerful. He felled as he tried to flee, towards the north, apparently. So he came south from Sardol, then turned around and tried to leave in a hurry, but was cut down from behind. No, that's just a deer. Are the deer especially malevolent? Well, there are bears and deer. Uh-oh, this one's mangled. Ew. Oh, a warhound. Really? I didn't see you. Did he look maddened? I thought he looked a little angry. You were too late to save this hunter, who bears grievous bite wounds. Oh. This looks like an enemy camp. They have war dogs? Looks kind of Easterling-ish. Corsairs, huh? Tents of strange make and numerous men in the distance. Okay. You spotted me, and that was rude. Oh, you're level 100. Wow. I think I'm going to run away from you. Or, fine, that's also a method. There's no point in, like, playing dead. Wow. Yeah, this is awesome. Okay, level 100s, huh? Big level 100s. Woof. All of them. Even the dog. Okay. All right, fine. Yeah, tough by level 100 standards. Maybe I'll go talk to Gordir. Oh. See, you are a perfectly reasonable level 97 warhound. Okay. I'll head back to Gordir here. Yeah, hang on. I should probably not, like, be riding forward while I'm looking at the map. I didn't even get close enough to have that thing appear on my map. Oh, but it's straight down to Dol Amroth here. I clearly want to go to Lamadon first. That's where the epic quest was taking me. So maybe I can mostly avoid those dudes? Who knows? Who knows? Okay. I'm forgetting which waterfall Gordir was fishing under. But this doesn't explain it, Gordir. Okay, so one of the corsairs from that camp, now they're very brawny fellows and their dogs, but that doesn't explain how it corrupted the spirits of the river, you know? I mean, that's not just a thing that corsairs can do. Qua corsair.
These are troublesome times indeed.
There is no good news left to find. What you speak of in Tarlang's crown goes beyond my worst fears. It is not simply one man, but instead an army that forms along the Anfalas. The time has come to tell Malthellam of these threats. I only hope something can still be done. Fortified jacket. Yes. Hang on, Gordir.
These are troublesome times indeed.
I have seldom felt as frightened as I am now. You have seen what vile things rise against us, but I fear that there are few options left for us. I beg you, please travel back to Morflad and tell Malthellam of what you have seen. I only hope it is not too late. Agreed. But I still don't get it. I don't get why. Okay. Oh, what's that? Enhancement Runes. I just got some incomparable enhancement runes. Woohoo! Oh, hang on. Okay. So first of all. Oh, yeah. Now I'm looking like the White Mountains, I guess. Yeah? Okay. It's much more form-fitting, right? Shows off my pot belly much more. The other one was a lot more concealing, you know. But it's okay. All right. Let's see, Gryfflet. Let's see. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, in profile, you are looking dashing as ever. Gryfflet. Okay. All right. Okay, now I am sporting almost. If I can get a nice local cloak, and I think a hat, then I'll be good. I'm supposed to go up to Morflad. So, is there a stable? There's not a stable master here, is there? Is there? I don't think so. Okay. Hang on. I need to make room. Oh, look at this. Where did I get over here? More enhancement runes. Where did those come from? Where did I get all these enhancement runes? Right, well, having cosmetically equipped my gloves, I don't really need them because they're not better than the other ones. So, let me open these. Oh, yeah. I know just what to do with those babies. Don't worry, I won't do it on stream. Okay. Great. What is the festive azure cloak? I just showed up and I had all this stuff in my inventory. Shall we see? Let's see. What does it look like? Wait a second. Do I still have the original of this? My rustic cloak of the Stone Deans? Because I'm not sure I do. I've got a party dress. I really don't need the party dress. Gryfflet's fine without the party dress. Boy, how did I get all this junk? Arguably, I've had that junk for quite some time. Okay, I'm scared to try the cloak, because if I don't like it, I can't get my old cloak back, cosmetically. What am I actually wearing, cloak-wise? Embroidered cloak of the Westfold? Really? You'd think I could upgrade that. Well, I won't worry about it. So, yeah, I have the control key, but it's not like the preview. Okay. Alright, I guess I can get it working. Alright. Okay, I like it. Let's take it. It wasn't working before. Huh. Okay. Let's equip it cosmetically. Oh, right, because now I have the... Let's just go bareheaded for now. Until I get my new hat. But Gryfflet has not been bareheaded. I even forgot that Gryfflet had a cunning little ponytail. Kendall, I also am really looking forward to Gryfflet having a tiny Swan Knight cosmetic set. Absolutely. Yeah, Rosie, I don't even... Like, I'm trying to remember the last time I saw Gryfflet's head. Like his whole head. Alright. Okay. We're going to head up to Morflad, and we're going to warn Malthellam and his favorite counselor, his very favorite counselor, that there seems to be some kind of army on his... Did they change my mounted skills? Are my mounted skills different? Like, the pictures look different. Did they always look like that? It's not just me, is it? It's funny how you cannot really notice what they look like, but if they change, you notice. Okay. Whoa. Easy there. Carry on. Hang on, what do we got here? I've got all kinds of things. I got lore points. I got my new title. I completed that deed. Okay, right, yeah. The normal stuff. Okay. All right, Malthellam. You've got a problem.
How may I help you, friend?
It heartens me to know that so much is being done on our behalf, yet I can see that something has troubled you. Yeah, let's talk about it. Rosfin still pointedly with her back to you, Malthellam. Oh, we're going to speak inside.
Disheartened by news of the Oathbreaker's influence on the Vale and the growing threat in Tarlang's crown, Malthellam has called you and Lady Rosfin to council.
I bet he has.
How may I help you, friend?
Malthellam told me that you have much to tell us of happenings around Allegrant and Sardol. I hope what you have seen can offer us some hope, but your face seems to say otherwise. Let us hear what you have to say, then. Ah. Come on, Malthellam, you're late to your own party. Very well, let us speak. I'm going to stand on the table, if that's all the same to you. It'd be easier for all of us, I think.
Gondor needs your aid.
I am sorry to have kept you and Lady Rosfin waiting. I was trying to find some sort of explanation as to why the dead have returned to the hill in such force. I shall soon ask you more of your travels in the south, but first, let me tell you more of the Vale's history. Great! Long ago, trees spread to all corners of the Vale. Okay, wasn't expecting that. Save for the top of the great hill where the Stone of Erech rests. Isildur himself brought it to the Vale, and there it remains. His pet rock. It stood as a reminder of his heritage and of lands to which he could never return. But now, it is thought of only as a symbol of oaths broken. The men he cursed betrayed not only Gondor, but the whole of the last alliance. And so they paid dearly. Their cowardice led their people to ruin and eternal unrest. The hill has since been a place of unease to our people, but in times of great distress the dead themselves return and haunt the stone. As our forests receded to the edges of the vale, our troubles grew, and the dead could no longer be ignored. This war has again drawn them forth, but to what end I cannot be certain. You spoke of worrisome things, Gryfflet. I think it is time you share them with us. I like storytelling instances. Okay. All right, so, the dead wander beyond the stone and fill beasts with madness. It's true. And a man swears to free them from their curse. Preposterous. He cannot be Isildur's heir, so the dead would never obey him. Then perhaps he seeks to deceive them. In their cowardice, they betrayed the Dark Lord as well. You are supposing too much, Rosfin. We know little of this man, his army and Tarlang's crown, and even less of the power he wields. That's not his army. All we can be certain of is that he wants to gather the dead and use them against Gondor. He will travel eastward towards the stone then, and so Gryfflet should follow his path. Do not forget, there remains the matter of the orcs in Tingobel as well. All right, I gotta go to Tingobel. To fight a war on two fronts shall only bring us to ruin. Why don't I go take care of the orcs? You speak true. It is decided then. If we are to survive, we must secure Lancrath and Tingobel. Okay. Endeavor to learn more of this man while you are there. I will. Pretty sure I know him, for I fear he shall not tarry in the vale, should he succeed in rallying the dead. Okay, so, but, why? First of all, it wouldn't be good if he didn't tarry, and second of all, is Gryfflet sworn to some kind of secrecy here? Like, is Gryfflet, like, worried about spoilers or something? Because surely he will have guessed that it's Aragorn. Can't he reassure these people?
How may I help you, friend?
We have spoken enough of these matters. The danger to the east has grown, and it must be dealt with soon, lest it spread south into Lamadan. Let us be done with these talks. Okay. Oh, hey, Ethelwad. All right. Rosfin, what do you think? Sorry, I won't make you turn around and look at Malthellam, because I understand how it is.
These are troublesome times indeed.
I have heard enough. If we do not act now, we may as well surrender our lives and lands. However, I do not plan on giving up so easily. Okay. Oh, you're going to give me a necklace? That's awful nice. How about a supple necklace? Well, not really sure that's an upgrade. Not much of an upgrade.
How may I help you, friend?
We have waited long enough. If the dead seek to overrun the Vale, we cannot abide another orc. We must crush their forces at Tingobel and ready ourselves for war. Far to the southeast you will find Lancrath nestled in the hills. There seek a man named Osben. He is a wise hunter, and though he is no longer fit for battle, he can aid you in directing the attack on Tingobel. Go with haste. Every minute we delay allows the orcs to creep further south towards Lamadan. Okay. All right, we will set out. Oh, and we've still got plenty of time. Off we gallop over to Lancrath and Tingobel, which I've already scouted. Hang on a second. Okay, it is further north than I thought. I'm like, am I sure that the crossroads? It's a good scouting, huh? I could totally remember which direction the road goes. Yeah, aid me in directing the attack does suggest, Phil, that I'm not, in fact, going to be doing a solo assault on Tingobel. And that's Tingobel up there, right? Yeah, that's Tinkerbell where the elves lived. Or no, I mean the orcs. Tinkerbell is making me think of elves. Okay. All right. We'll see. We'll see if anyone will help me. Frankly, it'll be easier if they don't. I kind of suspect. Because then I won't have NPCs to worry about. Okay. Now, this time I'm meant to be here. Hello, good people. I'm going to use your milestone if that's all the same to you. Yeah, the Sardol one. Okay. Magoleth, huh? So we got some Tingobel refugees. We've got, where's the dude? Oh, there he is. Osben. You do have a floppy hat. I was hoping you did.
Gondor needs your aid.
Hail, traveler, you must be a friend of Lady Rosfin, for none have been so bold or foolish enough to journey here as of late. The orcs have starved us for resources by sacking Tingobel and its mine, and it is unlikely that we can hold out much longer. I must admit I know less than I would like to about what occurred to the north, but the people who escaped know it well. If you would aid us, I ask that you speak to them, for they might be able to aid you in planning the attack. Okay. Let's interview refugees. Hi, could you tell me about your experiences in being chased from your home?
How may I help you, friend?
I visited briefly, yes. The orcs did not burn our town, they merely took it for their own. The weapons and armor our miners and smiths worked so hard to create were mostly left behind, and I shall not have them used by the enemies of Gondor. Perhaps the time will come when the orcs venture south to Lancrath, but if you aid us in recovering our weapons and armor, we shall be prepared. Okay. Maybe I'll go... Hang on a second. I'm going to go find the white stag while I'm here. Well, no, because then I'll have the white stag in my, possession. I'm supposed to capture him. What am I going to do? Wander around with him and do all of the Tingobel quests with that? Never mind. Okay, so in that case, what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to remove the bounty quests. I'll come back to them. I'll do them at the end. That's going to be the plan. Okay, Borodan. And you were Thenidiel, Tingobel refugee.
Have you heard the rumors of enemies pressing in from all sides?
I am Borodan, a skilled blacksmith of Tingobel, though currently I am without much work. If you are heading north, I ask that you steal the orcs' weapons. Their weapons are likely of poor make, but I can reshape them into many things that could serve our people better than the needless bloodshed of the orcs. Well, right. That's a low bar. You know, that could serve your people better than weapons in the hands of orcs. Yes. I am certain the orcs are well armed, and nothing would bring me more joy than to see their numbers dwindle along with their tools. Got it. Okay. Sure.
The soldiers of Gondor have all gone to war, and we are left to fend for ourselves.
I was working in the mine when I heard the screams. They had a strange echo to them at first, but once I was outside, there was no mistaking what happened to us. When I found my family amidst the chaos, we fled at once. The last thing I saw before leaving Tingobel was an armored orc of enormous size entering the mine after picking through ore we recently mined. I do not care what interest he had in ore or gemstones. I just want him dead for what he did to our village and families. Okay, go to the mine. Grasp of the dead. Oh, is that it? Berthaland. Okay. Orodir. Everybody's got names in here. All these named people who are not giving me quests yet. Hi, Arodis. Oh, you've got one of those skull caps. Okay. It's a fascinating fashion choice. Not the most flattering of all caps I've ever seen, but you know, you do you. Gurion.
These are troublesome times indeed.
I am Gurion at your service. I heard much of the aid you gave my people to the west, and I thank you for it. This business with Tingobel occupies much of my time as of late, and the tales I hear of the day the orcs attacked have only grown stranger. Some people speak as if the dead were there in Tingobel, lurking in the mine just as the orcs arrived. Yet I only see orcs dressed in bones, hoping to prey on those very fears. As much as I doubt their tales, I would ask that you search the mine. Hopefully that will finally put their fears to rest. Okay, and that's 4, and then... oh.
How may I help you, friend?
The Hill of Erech has been the site of many queer dealings of late. While I swear I saw the dead rush from the vale, I was apparently mistaken. Many of their number lurk about the hill even now. But strangest of all, I noticed a dark figure creeping up the hill toward the stone last night. Could it be the same person you sought near Sardol? For my part, I searched the hill the following morning, but I found no evidence of their passing. I worry that I missed something. Okay, I will search the hill. It's nice to have side quests again, Drow Snake. I'm not going to complain. All right, let me go up the hill. There is a strange person there, but he was a Knight of Dol Amroth. So I don't think that's the guy who was causing, you know, gloom waters and things. All right, let me see if I can't do this mounted. Let's go search the hill first. There's that warband again. Or it's a warband of dead folks. Okay. And there's my good friend who just wants to send me on those instance quests again, right? Rove along! How could I forget Rovalong's name? Right. If I want to do the Those Who Are Dead interlude again. Dancing on the hilltop. Other than the dead, it appears nothing has disturbed the hill recently. And Nerzus still won't talk to me. You know, it's less smooth than I expected. The stone, I mean. Didn't I notice footprints before? Hi, Nerzus. Still pacing around, are we? Clearly not made by the circling dead nearby, the footprints denote heavy boots of foreign make. Hi again, Nerzus. Okay. Heavy boots of foreign make. There was clear evidence of a hoedown here. Foreign is relative. Yeah, I'm still not... I don't think it's Aragorn I'm meant to be tracking here, right? I mean, it's whatever corsair-affiliated dude was coming up from the south. I have to admit, this is all kind of disjointed in my head, but that might be my head's fault, so... Okay, Gurion.
These are troublesome times indeed.
I say the make is unknown to me. Well, I think it is. I wish we had learned more from this. Allow me a moment to think. Okay, we're certain the invader has visited the hill. That tells us something? How many moments do you need to think? Shall I go away and come back? I guess I'll go away and come back. You think while I go... Thank you. You go while you think I'll go free Tingobel. How about that? Oh, is a maddened deer wearing boots, you think? Well, that would be mad. So I guess I'm not going to get all that much assistance, really, at Tingobel. Because Gurion is busy thinking. And it takes him some time. All right. Now, I've got the 4 quests, and I assume I will get the kill 12 orcs or whatever quest when I show up and meet the orcs. Okay. All right. Well, let me queue up another. Oh no, I've got it's a banner burning quest. Okay. Cool. Let me get another lore question. Okay, Morris, this is an old question from the Webathon, which I didn't get to. But I'll answer it anyway. Is there any relation of Gandalf to elves in any revision of the books, since the Alfr part of his name derives from the Old English word elf? That is a great question with a complicated answer. Okay, so let's see. Boom. Take that. And boom. And boom. Oh, the Marauder caught me, huh? Oops, how about I actually fight the dude I'm fighting? I see you shooting me. Oh, and the Defiler too? Why are you talking about Saruman? Okay, I got some supplies, I got some weapons, a sense of home. Oh, I gotta recover the supplies too. I got all kinds of quests here. What was I doing with the banner? As you explore Tingobel, you notice grim banners of the Rashat High hanging about the buildings nearby. These banners do little more than insult the memory of the Gondorian people that until recently inhabited Tingobel. Tearing down these banners may both honor the people of the Blackroot Vale and loosen the enemy's grip on the region. Okay. And in exchange, you'll give me some more incomparable enhancement runes? Done and done. Oh, he successfully interrupted me. Okay. the one-shotting. It never gets old. Actually, never. Okay. So, Gandalf. Here is the Gandalf story. You're right, Morris. Morris 2934 is correct. That Alf means elf in Norse, and that is indeed what that part of Gandalf's name means. A strict translation of Gandalf would be something like wand elf or staff elf, like elf who carries a staff around. So, yeah, that is in fact what it means. But the question, actually the answer is kind of backwards. Let me explain what I mean by that. Morris was asking, is there any relation of Gandalf to elves in any revision of the books? That is, he's sort of wondering, is like in any version, was there any connection of Gandalf to elves? No. Dwarves, actually. That's the thing that's kind of unexpected. Because all right. There is a revision in which Gandalf was connected with dwarves. Because there was a revision in which Gandalf was a dwarf. Not the wizard, but Gandalf was the original name. In the first draft of The Hobbit, Gandalf was the original name of Thorin, of the leader of the dwarves. He wasn't called Thorin. He was called Gandalf. And there's a very good reason why he was called Gandalf. Before I explain the reason, he was called Gandalf. And the wizard, of course, was called Bladorthin. Don't ask. It's complicated. I don't even know that I know the answer. I don't know that anybody exactly knows the answer of why Bladorthin, which name was kept in The Hobbit, by the way. It was became the name of like the king for which those weapons were made that were never delivered. So he kept the name in The Hobbit, but it was no longer the wizard's name. Anyway, Thorin, by the way, became Thorin when he emerged from the barrels. All the way up until then. So imagine the entire story of The Hobbit. The leader of the dwarves is named Gandalf until you get to Lake Town. And then in that phase of writing the story, after they arrive in Lake Town, is when Tolkien decided that he was going to change the wizard's name to Gandalf and the dwarf's name to Thorin. So, Gandalf, the name Gandalf with the Alf in it, was connected not to elves, but to dwarves. How does that make any sense, you ask? If the word Alf in Old Norse means elf, why was it connected to dwarves? And the answer: Norse is weird. That is, the word elf, the way that the word elf was used in Old Norse, is a little vague. It's a little indeterminate. It could mean one of multiple different creatures. You have the Svartalf and the you have the dark elves and the light elves and all this, some of which are like what we call dwarves, basically. The different kinds, like the light elves and the dark elves and all the different folks from Norse mythology are... Yeah, I thought I was going to lose some morale there. Don't think so. Anyway, Tolkien kind of adapts them to some extent, but not really directly. And he doesn't use that nomenclature by and large. He turned around just in time. So yes, the name Gandalf is, of course, from the Voluspa. Almost all of the dwarves in Thorin's company have names that are taken right from the list of the names of dwarves in the Voluspa. One of the, it's from the Eddas. Gandalf is one of them, right? It's one of the names of the dwarves. And it was applied to a dwarf at first. What did that original dwarf in the Voluspa, Gandalf, have to do with wands? No idea. Yeah. Now, right, exactly. Dwarves were dark elves in Norse mythology, Phil. That's exactly right. So now you'll notice, by the way, hang on, there's like one final chapter to this story. Hang on. Despite the orc presence in the area, the contents of the crates remains largely untouched. You were able to recover a significant amount of clothing and heirlooms belonging to people of Tingobel. Although their homes are not yet safe to return to, the people of Tingobel are grateful to have even these small pieces of their lives returned to them. Great. Excellent. Okay, I've got armor. I think there was some more stuff down this way. Boy, this guy's having a little dance party over here, too. Oh, no, these were just supplies, and I finished that. I can one-shot defilers. Boy, I didn't shut him up even by stabbing him in the back. Okay. How am I still missing swords and armor? I feel like I must have missed something. I mean, maybe they're in the mine, but I would have thought I kind of made an erratic course through town because I was doing the banners on the outskirts and talking at the same time. So just gonna check and make sure I didn't miss any barrel o weapons. No. Just a whole bunch of spotted. Come on, guys. As you were. Okay. All right. I guess they must be in the mines. Okay, so here's the other part of the story. The other part of the story is, once Tolkien changed his mind and decided the wizard was going to be Gandalf. Oh, look, there it is, right inside the mine. Once Tolkien had decided that, he then it's like he knew that people like Morris 2934 were going to be asking this question. Olkfrum? Where did I hear that name? Search for something valuable to draw forth Olkfrum and defeat him. Okay. Such as, like, it might be these green gemstones? Why would he be more tempted when they're just in my possession? You won't be taking that. You're not like the last one, the man of Umbar. He thought us unworthy, but when we raise the rest of the veil, he will think again. Okay. Okay, so there was a man of Umbar. Okay. That's it? Man, there are corpses all over the place today. A cold and unused fire pit on the cave floor, and another corpse. Shall I light a fire? Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Woo! Do you think they'll find us here? Not this time, my love. Oh, it's romantic. It's date night at the fire pit. The king may speak for us, but he cannot force us to fight. We fled last time, and so we shall again. Oh, these are the cowardly ones. What of that man, though? He promised freedom if we fought on the side of the Dark Lord. Wait, what? He promised only lies, and others are fools to believe him. Those that follow Isildur's heir may see their oaths fulfilled, but the others shall never find rest. Neither shall we, my love, but I shall have you, Ruzkat. Let us send this one away, that we may be alone once more. Yeah, I'm totally intruding. I'm really sorry about that. You guys were having a moment, and so the guy from Umbar is trying to rally the ruthless dead. Huh. Okay. Interesting. I think I'm done here. Cool. Another corpse. Man. Okay. So, as I say, it is like Tolkien anticipated Morris 2934's question, because when later on he gave an explanation for this, like he knew that the word elf was involved in Gandalf's name, right? And he knew that people were going to see that the word elf was involved in Gandalf's name. And so he, not being content merely to say, oh yeah, it was a dwarf name originally, like the actual history of the name, he needed to invent a history of the name, right? Why is it that he's called Gandalf in the North? His name, Grey Wanderer, Mithrandir, actually is kind of closer to Bloodorthin, honestly. But anyhow, he's got to be called Gandalf for a reason. I'm not saying that he regretted making the change, that he was still pining after Bloodorthin all those years later and was like, man, I should have stuck with Bloodorthin, and now I got to explain away this Gandalf name. But he did need to explain it. And so he came up with the story saying that, like, the Astari, which were, you know, known to be long-lived, that is, have a longer lifespan than normal humans. Remember Bilbo's comment about Gandalf still being in business, right, in chapter 1 of The Hobbit. So that, like, in the north, where there weren't so many elves, he was mistaken for an elf. Like, they thought that Gandalf was an elf. And so they called him Gandalf because he has a staff and he's an elf. So they're like, we shall name you Staff Elf, right? And that's why he was called Gandalf. So Tolkien retroactively invents an explanation for why Gandalf comes to be called Gandalf in a way that deals with the word elf, not in the Norse sense, but in the Middle-earth sense, right? And so he kind of naturalizes the name in Middle-earth, which I think is fun. All right, have you had your think, Gorion?
How may I help you, friend?
You fear the orcs are the least of our problems. Who could have such influence as to sway the dead even with lies? I don't know, but you're going to give me shoulder pads of the White Mountains. That is fantastic, and I'm not going to equip those because those aren't anything. I can put essences in my shoulders there. But anyway, but cosmetically speaking, I think it's time to almost complete my set. I just need a hat. Okay, hang on, Gurion. I'll come back to you. Got some important cosmetic action here. All right, and okay, the full White Mountain. I just need the White Mountain hat. Man, how many shattered hatchets have I collected and destroyed today? Okay. Great. Looking good, Gryfflet. Looking good. Okay. Hang on, Gurion. I'll be right back. Borodon, I've got some orc weapons for you.
Our lands were once peaceful.
I shall see them used against the orcs as they are.
Far from home.
Or perhaps I shall reforge them into something more helpful to our people. Certainly the wood of these staves will aid us to keep warm in the night. Well, that would be a very short-term use of them.
These are troublesome times indeed.
It pleases me that the orcs can no longer benefit from the labors of our people, and doubly so that we might now be prepared to defend Lancrath should the orcs seek to press further into the Vale. War has come to Gondor, and all must be ready to fight. A weak armor, a lack of skill can no longer be an excuse. We must begin training at once. We're going to have a whole training montage here. Great. Maybe when I return next week, they will have finished their montage.
The soldiers of Gondor have all gone to war, and we are left to fend for ourselves.
You have done my people a great service. Would that I could take up arms as you do against the enemy, but my hand is untrained in combat. I'm glad that vile creature no longer draws breath, even if reclaiming Tingobel remains beyond our grasp. Don't see why it should, on account of... I cleared them out, but they all did regen, so that's awkward. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this landscape jewelry, not impressive. Okay, surely there must be another round of quests, because there's still like 4 or 5 named people that I haven't gotten to speak to, but... Okay, let me go back to what's-his-face. And then I gotta... Woo! Hi, Gryfflet.
How may I help you, friend?
You mentioned you saw the dead circling the stone. Like anyone else in the Vale, they fill me with dread, but perhaps you can convince them to speak. Well, they did chat nicely in my presence. We know that this invader hopes to sway the dead to his cause, so it is likely he sought an audience with them on the hill. I doubt the dead you saw shall aid us intentionally, but if you approach him boldly, he might inadvertently provide us with some of the answers we need. Confront Nerzus. Okay. Hood of the White Mountains. Yes. Nice. All I have to do is confront Nerzus. Let's do it. He's right here. Then I can complete my White Mountains cosmetic set. And what a good way that would be to end the stream. Well, there's a lot more of these ruthless dead around than there were before. Oh, is it because it's nighttime now? Yeah, probably. So they're not out in the middle of the day? That's interesting. You're not the first to seek an audience with me, Hobbit, but I assure you, you shall be the last. I will never aid the heir of Isildur. Whether I gain my freedom or not, I shall see Gondor burn. Yeah, but no, hang on. Wait, while exploring the hill, you have discovered numerous dead. Judging by their actions, these dead are ruthless and despise your presence. I should defeat a bunch of them. Okay. All right, hang on. All right, Nerzus, I'm coming around to you. I love how I stunned the dead. What, did I knock him on the head? Did I give him an incorporeal concussion? When our new master returns, the veil shall be rent asunder. Yeah, without your help. Look, if Sauron comes here, he is not going to need your assistance. Okay, hang on, let me put on my invisibility hat. Which makes me invisible even to dead people, I think. And I'm just going to head back and get my hood. Hey, watch out, Rovalong. Exactly, I give him a spiritual concussion. I give him a dead ache. That's not okay, Trust Snake. Oh dear. Okay. Gurian, sorry, I'm in your personal space.
These are troublesome times indeed.
Most grim. I fear that the dead have found a powerful ally, one that we may be powerless to stop, with so many of our people gone to the aid of Minas Tirith. Okay, no, I don't want the hood. I'm getting the helm. That's good. Helms are good. Yeah, all the landscape stuff here is not that great, but let's dismount and do this cosmetic thing on foot. Hang on. Darn it. Hit the wrong thing. Okay. Okay. Oh, looking sharp there, Gryfflet. I like it. Very tasteful winged helm action. Not like huge, enormous wings, just, you know, little wings. He's got the full cosmetic set now. Well, he doesn't have a cloak. If they give me a White Mountains cloak, I'll put that on too. Oh, boy, I'm telling you. I have been looking forward to finally having a new cosmetic landscape set. I wore that Rohan one forever. Forever. Okay. All right, Gurian. I'm going to let you have a bit more of a think, Gurian, because it is time for me to go. Thank you, everybody, for joining me this week. I will not... Well... No, I can't really promise that I can be here next week. It's Thanksgiving week, and I think there's probably going to be stuff going on next week. So I think I'm going to have to take Black Friday off on account of family stuff. My son's going to be back in town. Really excited. My son's coming home from college for the first time, so that's going to be awesome. So I won't stream next Friday, but I will. But I'll be back the next Friday. So the 3rd of December will be our next stream, and I should be able to stream through much of December, though of course I'll miss Christmas Eve. But anyway, thank you very much, everybody, and I will see you guys in a fortnight. Thanks. Bye now. Thanks for joining in on my rambles around Standing Stone's brilliant digital adaptation of Tolkien's world. If you enjoy these adventures, please consider supporting this and other entertaining educational programming by donating at signumuniversity.org/fund.